Hey guys, it's Josh and I'm here bringing you another video for the Island Conquerors TCG. As I promised in my last video, I will be talking about some of the special rules and mechanics of the game in this video. I'm going to explain to you the 4 mechanics that will be in set 1. They will reappear in later sets, but they're being introduced in this set. I'll also be explaining how some of the standard mechanics will work. And I'll also be explaining the mechanic of the game that I think will help to set my game apart from others. Also in this video, to explain the special rules, I'm going to give you guys sneak peeks of some of the cards that haven't been made yet, but that I have been working on, and that should be released soon. I'll have videos of them once I get them printed out and all the art done on them, so that'll be something to look forward to. So stay tuned as I'll launch right into this video. The first mechanic I want to talk about today is production. Production is, as you'll remember from the last video, if you didn't watch that, make sure you go check that out, maybe even leave a like. But production is the mechanic that is on resource cards. Resource cards are a way to get coins in the game. In the game, at the beginning of each of your turns, you can gain 1 coin. But 1 coin isn't going to get you far if you're trying to play a card such as Draw Swiftblade, which costs 5. So you'll need another means of getting coins unless you plan on waiting 5 turns. So production is how you can do that. Production cards will all have the word production followed by a number and a dash and another number. The first number is the number of coins you get, and the second number is the number of turns it takes to get that number of coins. So in production 1-1, you get 1 coin every 1 turn, so every turn. Whereas in production 1-2, you get 1 coin every 2 turns, so every other turn. So that's how production works, but I did promise you guys a sneak preview at one of the cards that I will be working on soon. This card is going to be a legendary resource card for the ICE affiliation, and it's called Cavern of the Unpristine. It will cost 4 coins to play, and it will read Production 1-1. Each time you freeze a card, spirit creatures you control get +1 attack points until end of turn. So you get 1 coin every turn, and whenever you freeze, your creatures will all get buffed up. So what is freeze, you may be asking? Well, let me explain. Freeze is the first of the mechanics that will be introduced in the first set called Alarixa. Alarixa is an island that has the 4 main factions on it. I'll explain that in the lore video, but for now you need to know the fact that the affiliations are Ice, City, Plains, and Jungle. The Ice special rule is called Freeze. The freeze means that it'll be indicated by the word freeze followed by a number in parentheses. The number after the word freeze means that you can put that many time counters on target opposing resource. So essentially, you will deep freeze their resources into stopping production for an extra turn. This can be a powerful game-breaking technique because it'll stop your opponents from playing powerful cards sooner. And the example card that I will release to you guys early is called Glimpse of Winter. Glimpse of Winter will be an uncommon ice spell that can only be played on your opponent's turn. It will cost 6 coins to play, which is a pretty high cost, but its text box reads freeze 1, freeze 1, freeze 1, which means you get to freeze 3 times on 3 different resource cards. Which is amazing because in the game, you can only have 3 resource cards out on your side at all times, which means you could freeze every single one of your opponent's resource cards. So that's freeze. The next one is one you should be familiar with if you watched my last video. It's called Bombard. Bombard will be indicated by the word bombard followed by a number in parentheses. The number in parentheses is how much damage you get to deal to an opponent's creature or exceptional creature when the bombard special rule is activated. An example of this is Conflagration Archer. Conflagration Archer says that whenever it attacks, you bombard 1. So whenever it attacks, you deal 7 damage to that creature, and also deal 1 damage to another target creature, or the same target creature. I told you that I'd give you a sneak preview of a card, however, so the sneak preview will be a rare city creature called Folia Court Wizard. Folia is the main city on Alarixa. It is a royalty faction. It does 9 damage and has 10 attack points. And its text box reads, whenever you play a royalty card, bombard 2. So it gives you a bonus for playing a mainly royalty faction deck. So that's bombard. The next special rule is the one for the Plains affiliation, and it's called Shadow. Shadow means it's designated by the word shadow followed by a number in parentheses. The number in parentheses refers to the amount of damage that is prevented when a creature attacks a creature with shadow. So for instance, Jaral Swiftblade has Shadow 2. So whenever a creature attacks Jaral Swiftblade, that damage is negated by 2 points of damage. So if a creature deals 8 damage to Jaral, he only takes 6. Shadow can be a powerful defensive mechanism on your creatures. The last special rule from Alarixa is the Jungle special rule, and it's called Entangle. Entangle is designated by the word entangle followed by a number in parentheses, just like all the others. And it means that target opponent's creature takes extra damage for the number shown. So if a creature has Entangle 2, you entangle 2 on a target creature that your opponent controls, and then that creature takes an extra 2 damage each turn. The sneak preview card for this is actually another one of the exceptional creatures in the game. This exceptional creature is the Jungle exceptional creature, which will be a legendary rarity. It is Kiki Ga, Nature Prophet, and he's a native that deals 8 damage and has 5 hit points. His text box reads, when Kiki Ga enters play, entangle 1 on all opposing creatures. So when you play him, that turn, all of your opponent's creatures take an extra damage, just from his special ability. So Entangle is the Jungle and the final special rule from Alarixa. I'd now like to explain the game rules of the game, which is what I hope will help to set my TCG apart from others that are similar to it. Game rules are essentially how I'm going to create a storyline for my game. I would like to release a lot of lore to keep this game have a rich backstory. That's why I have named creatures and all of these cards that will eventually hopefully tell a story to the players. But since they all cost the same currency of coins, that would mean that players would ideally just take the best cards and make a deck regardless of the storyline. So in order to keep the storyline alive within the game, I'm creating a system called Game Rule Cards. There will be 3 in each set that help to tell the storyline of the island a little bit better. And at the beginning of each game, you'll take all of the game rule cards that have been released, you'll shuffle them together, and you'll draw 3, and these will be the game rules for the game. So for Alarixa, you'll play with all 3 of the Alarixa game rules out. Once the next set is released, you'll shuffle those 3 in with the Alarixa ones and draw 3 at the beginning of the game. I have not created all of the game rules for Alarixa yet, but I do have one created, and it is called Fraternal Feud. I will talk about this a little bit more in my lore video, but essentially 2 brothers are fighting each other for control of the island over a family dispute. And the Plains versus the City of affiliations are the 2 main affiliations that are fighting each other. This would obviously mean that Plains and City cards really shouldn't mix in the game, but of course, if without any incentive not to, players will take the best City cards and best Plains cards and best Ice cards and best Jungle cards and put them all together in a big deck. So the Fraternal Feud Game Rules card means that all City and Plains cards that are on the battlefield at the same time get a decreased -2 AP and -1 HP to their stats, which is quite a significant decrease. So that's how I'm going to try to keep the lore of the game alive with these game rule cards. Of course, with these game rules, there will always be exceptions. I didn't want plains and city creatures to never mix in the same deck, so I created a special rule just specifically for this Alarixa island, or maybe in the future I'll have it on other cards too, but to combat this game rule. This is called Alliance. This basically means that city cards or plains cards will have this, and Alliance means that it ignores the game rule card Fraternal Feud. So it means that if the card has Alliance and it's a plains affiliation and it's on the battlefield with a city affiliation card, it means that that card does not get any of the negative effects of the Fraternal Feud game rule. So if Conflagration Archer and Jaraal Swiftblade, Conflagration Archer being a city affiliation and Jaraal being a plains affiliation, are on the battlefield at the same time, and Conflagration Archer has Alliance, that means that Conflagration Archer gets no problems to his stats. He will still be a 7/5 creature. Jaraal, on the other hand, would get the -2/-1 to his stats and put him down to an 8/5 creature. So the Alliance can be a powerful special rule if you plan on playing a combination of city and plains cards. So I know that was a lot of rules in one video, and I hope you guys watched all the way to the end. If you did, please be sure to hit the like button if you enjoyed it, and hit me with a comment if you'd like to see something changed or if you have ideas. I always would love to get some ideas, and I'll give you guys due credit where it's due if I choose to use your ideas. Thank you guys for watching though once again, and if you feel like supporting what I'm doing here, I would love your support. Feel free to subscribe, like, or comment, or just watch this video even. So I hope you guys have a great day. See ya.